and the euro. The game up and leave my kids like judo. Money come around like a Hoover. Making free bands in the future. Pockets on the look super. Bills will be blue sock Cooper.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They go play action here on first down. And they can't bring him down. Oh, battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
All right, here we go. Boom, line it.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. And they'll run it here. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Gone!
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Taylor. And that's complete. It's Watson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Detroit!
And now with the play clock almost to 0, Dirk Cutter's going to burn a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Taylor. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. After the interception, it's long. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. It's a big play there for the Saints. 63 yards. So from their own 20 all the way to the red zone now. A chance to capitalize on 1st and 10. First carry for Darius Geis. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll try and get it with Geis. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. From the left hash. Should be a fairly easy one here. And Myers able to knock it through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Now let's go.
On second down, here's Taylor. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Taylor under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. One of the longest punts in the last decade or so, 80-plus yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. To throw on second down is Love. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Here's Lott. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
That's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now Love. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it second down. They'll fake it. Now Love. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. To the air again. Love. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down. Again, Love. His throw incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Luck throwing again. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Throwing again is Love. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Marquise Goodwin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Let's go.
They go play action now. Taylor airing this one out front into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a play fake, and it's locked. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it back. That's caught inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints add on to their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes our score 17-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This one taken from the 7. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Cameron Bray, 79 yards. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got him, took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
They start on the ground with Geis, and he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Off of play action, Luck. He's going to let this one go deep. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Off the play fake, here's Taylor. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now look at 56.
From the gun, it's Taylor. Looking deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 39 that time. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Kid had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now Luck going for the deep ball. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, New Orleans. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Play action, it's Taylor. And incomplete on the deep ball. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
to throw on third down. Taylor. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Play action. Now Taylor. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A very solid gain of 27. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence.
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. It's their quarterback with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on 1st down. Now a hit and lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing his lob. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Taylor and Brate, the tight end's got it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Detroit!
On 1st down, it's Taylor. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. He got 29 yards that time. This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. they go with a running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Check, Patriot!
Now Taylor to throw on second down. He's got it. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Cameron Brate with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. Extra point up and through. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important, too. And they got one. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Gone.
Now Taylor on 1st down. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a Turkey Bowl, a Thanksgiving Day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Gone. Detroit.
On 2nd down, Taylor. And Watson has it right side. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
All right,
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's Taylor looking for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Jordan Willis in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Bucs on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Out of the gun, it's Taylor. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one is right down Broadway. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Geis. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Geis with a carry on 2nd down, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll hand it down to Geis. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
To throw is Locke. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. And Myers able to knock it through, and they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Detroit! Detroit!
He's back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. This is Geis. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And the ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for New Orleans, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the